Record.
And hey, I'm Cherie Valentine, and I'm a shamanic healer, EFT specialist, and spiritual intuitive guide for your personal and professional success. And I'm here today with my co-host, Cynthia Bazin, at the Smart Chick, and I'm going to let her introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. I'm so thrilled to be here with Cherie Valentine. My name is Cynthia Bazin. I'm the owner of a motivational and mentoring company called Smart Chick, and I'm at smartchick.me. So I'm thrilled to be here with you, Cherie.
Yeah, and so I was so excited because I had this thought to just kind of impromptu to do this blab today, and reached out, and you were like, yeah, let's see if we can make this happen, and we found a time. And I gave you a couple of ideas I wanted to talk about, and you were like, oh, well, let's go with this one, because you know what? I actually talked about that on my Periscope this morning. So don't you just love how aligned we are?
Yes, I know, right? We are definitely on the same page, and you are awesome on my blab today. So I'm looking forward to getting this out there and talking about this great subject.
Yeah, so I kind of came up with it. I'm going to be really fair and honest and give credit where credit is due. I was on a blab last night with Tim Gillette at the Rocker Life Coach. And guys, if you're not following him, please stop following him. He rocks it. Let me tell you.
He is a rock star.
He is a rock star, but I'm telling you, he's a rock star in your life and in your business, and it's how to get things done and how to show up in a way that is just refreshing, and he holds the space and he brings people together in his blabs. So start following him. But anyway, he was doing a blab last night, and the title was Stop Trying and Just Do It. And I was like, oh, I love that, because I'm always telling people, like, there's no, like Yoda says, there is no try, there is only do. Like, you're either doing it or you're not doing it. There is no try in between. So I thought it was a great topic to jump into.
Right.
But I woke up this morning thinking about that and the people who came on and what we were talking about. And I realized that for me, I have these two modes. I'm either inspired and just do it with no thinking, or I think it to death and don't do it. So I was like, that's me. I got to get out of my head and get it done. And last night I had said for me that was going to be the Periscope, to embrace it, because I had my little challenges of why I wasn't doing it, and thinking about, do you know how many pretend Periscopes I did in my head?
Oh my gosh.
Yes. Okay. So that's the topic and the inspiration.
All right. Well, awesome. Hey, I appreciate people joining in. There's Pizza on the Cheap coming in, and Neil, thank you so much for joining in. Appreciate it. This is going to be a great discussion, and talking about how you can get out of your head. And awesome.
And speaking of the man himself, guess who's jumping in?
Yeah, we got to tell him. Hey, dude.
Hey. Did you hear my introduction and why we're doing this show?
No, I actually just came from another room. I was trying to get out and get in here on time. I kept getting the notifications you were starting.
Oh, it's perfect.
Awesome. Well, go ahead, Cherie. Tell them again.
I have to say, I'm sorry for all of you if you already heard this, but so I was saying that last night you had put out a blab, and it was, there's no stop trying and just do it, and it really spoke to me, because there is no trying, there's either you do it or you don't do it. And so I was just pretty inspired by that. And I remembered at the end of the night saying to you that, well, the thing for me that I'm going to just do is embrace Periscope, because I've been wanting to do that. And this morning I woke up and I'm just thinking about it, and how much I think about it, and how much I think about do my pretend Periscopes in my head. So I'm like, okay, just get out of your head and get it done for.
Okay, Cherie, bump yourself off, kick yourself off, and just go do a scope, okay? We'll wait for you. Or do it right now.
I just did it. I did it before I come on the blab. I did.
All right, cool.
So anyway, Tim, thanks for that inspiration. And I also told everyone out there that if they're not following you, they need to start.
Thank you. So,
Cynthia,
did you see my scope?
You know what? For some reason, I kept on trying to connect it, just saying trying to connect. So I sent you a Twitter message. For some reason, it wasn't connecting, but I'll try to get back on.
Yeah, I mentioned it on there. I thought you were trying to connect, because it seemed like you would come in and out twice. So.
I know. But silly technology sometimes. I know. I was trying because I saw you on live. So anyways, I like to get on there live so the hearts count.
Yeah. And I'm sorry I got dropped off of your scope you were doing. Thanks for all that love you were shouting out on my end. I was actually going for a walk in the rain, believe it or not, and my phone was getting soaked and just shut off and kicked me out.
All right, Pizza on the Cheap.
In a month, I was broadcasting for somebody else doing next week. Do you know Casey Everhart?
I met him. He spoke here in Boston about 2 or 3 years back, and I've been following him ever since.
He called me about an hour ago. Says, "Hey, I'm going to be in Dallas on Tuesday. You want to do something?" And I'm like, "Tuesday night I have a meetup. Do you want to speak?"
And what did he say?
Yeah. Casey and I have an open agreement with each other. If we're in each other's town and an event's going on, we're on the stage.
That's awesome. He's great. He's got such good energy. Which
I'm doing the same thing when she comes to town. I'm doing something. I don't know what.
All right. Are you going to be in Dallas soon?
What was it? 27th you get here, Cynthia?
Check your Twitter feed. Check your Twitter feed. Things got changed up. I'm very disappointed about it, but we'll get together. I'll be down there soon.
We'll be on this soon.
Yeah, and we got to do this soon too. So there's questions. They're saying, what do you guys want to get done?
All right, then. Well,
we're going to be talking about how to get out of your head and get it done instead. So this is a subject to help all of us, I think, who have those challenges.
Thanks for the question. And who wants to start?
Tim, do you want to start?
Okay, hold on. Let me go back there. I actually was looking at somebody beeping me from another thing.
Oh, okay.
You're so popular.
And the message came up, Joel, come. Hey, you coming over? I'm like,
you can come over. You can come back. We can.
No, it's all right.
It's just, I was surprised to meet with him this week. I was shocked. Known him for 2 years. I finally got to connect with him on a blab. And he's like, I'm glad I got to know you. Okay.
You can float in and out, Tim, whatever you want to do. You're good.
You're good.
I floated in and out of 7 of them today because it was my day off.
I'm trying to float into yours later tonight, Tim. So
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I can't wait. I subscribed. I'm around tonight, so I can't wait. I'd love to jump into yours. So awesome. All right. Well, let's jump into the subject. We can just chat.
You start. I'll work from you.
Okay. Who starts? Cynthia?
I did a scope this morning. I think we're on the exact same line of the same page of the same book, the three of us, because I ended up doing a scope today because one of my clients was like, Cynthia, I have all these ideas that are swirling through my head and I have no idea how to put them into some sort of reasonable form and figure out what I should be doing. So I actually did a scope this morning. So we're on the same page. So, and I think we're all, different in how we deal with things, but I think we all have that from time to time, that we have all these great ideas. And kind of what I started talking about this morning was, are they great ideas or is it the shiny object syndrome? You know what I mean? That sometimes all these things come in and the initial thing is that they're all great ideas, but I think we have to get clear and focused on, whether, all these ideas are good ones or whether you need to weed through them. But I think my first tip is to get out of your head is that you actually got to get it out of your head and you got to put it down in some form. At least for me, it's on paper, on the computer. You just got to have a creative dump and just get it down somewhere. I don't know about you guys, how you handle it, but that's what I need to do. I can't have it up here.
I have one of these for work, one of these for personal.
All right. What do you think, Tim?
Over by the door.
He's like, where is it?
Yeah. Wait a minute. My wife's been gone for a week, so I had to clean the office today. So.
I can't find anything.
No, and I went out to meet a client, and I wanted to take the motorcycle, so I put everything in the big briefcase, and I just walked in the door and dropped it because I thought I was done for the day until I got that phone call. So. But no, I have notebook systems. There's all kinds of things I do to get done. I have calendars. I work off the calendars on this. I don't do the paper calendars anymore. Quit whistling at me. Between this, and with the Apple, they're all connected. So I got my calendars to schedule things out. As far as of me being the most efficient that I am, I'm a big proponent of using paper to jot ideas when they come to your mind. Mm-hmm. All right. All of my book ideas have come to mind at like a spur moment. And by the time most people got their computer up to start typing it, I write the idea down and come back to it later. Mm-hmm. That's how I get most of the stuff done. I do because when it's in there, I can schedule a time to go in and write it.
Right.
And I mean, the idea of let's plan out what we're going to do. I plan out things like this where I've got to be interactive with other people, but I can sit in my bed at night with my laptop and write a whole book. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I mean, that's a creative moment for me. When I go shut off, or when I go shut the world off, all right, and my mind's got nothing listening in, I can get more done. But you know what I mean? So that's why I set that for that time. But the idea comes to me on an airplane. I'm writing it down, and I'll get back to it later. That's the biggest system I have for getting things done.
I love it. I started this practice called the daily pages. They're supposed to be the morning pages, but for me, they're the daily pages because I don't always do them in the morning. But basically, I just sit down and it's like a brain dump, and I just write for 3 pages, whatever, like anything that needs to come out. And that I found when I started to do that, and when I actually do that, I'm far more productive and effective. I just seem to clear out all the clutter so that it's not in my head. And when I don't seem, like you say, whether you have a prescribed time you sit and do it, a notebook you keep it in, whether you use your phone, you got to get it out of your mind, because if you're trying to carry it around and it's like this filing system that's just getting clogged up with all this useless stuff I don't need to be thinking about. And when I actually follow and get it down on paper and get it out of my mind, then I'm so much clearer, and that does help. So it's such a good point, and I'm glad you brought that up for that tip. And as you notice, we're all doing that. So if any of you are out there do that or have your own way of getting it out of your head to follow, we'd love to see it in the comment stream, please. And I wanted to jump off of something you said, Cynthia, if I can remember now. So all the ideas. Oh my goodness. Right. Okay. It is true. We have to be clear. We need to be clear and have intention. I think we have to really have a clear intention on why do we want to do all of these things, because we can't possibly do all of the ideas that we have, especially all in those moments. So by putting them down and by really clearing them out and by sort of tuning in, I think, and getting a sense of like inspiration and guidance and clarity around why do you want to do them? How will this serve me? How will this serve my intention? Then that also helps to start taking that action instead of just thinking about it.
Right. And that's one of the things I focused in on this morning, Cherie, was just like, okay, now you've had that creative dump. Take that, put that aside, and now what you really need to do is you need to get clear, like, where are you in life right now? What is your goal over the next 6 months, the year? What is your goal, whether it's a financial goal for your business, getting, 6 to 12 more clients, what kind of clients, really just getting clear on your vision and your goal, and then revisiting those projects, because otherwise all those projects come in, you start doing them, and then you're going, what the hell? Why did I do that? That is not helping me at all. It sounded good. They wanted me to do something with them, but you can quickly start wasting a lot of time on projects that, it sound great and may be fun to do, but again, are they really fueling your business? Are they fueling, what your goals are? So, again, I for a while there, I was doing some stuff, in my business that was just like, hey, this is a good opportunity to get out there. But I don't know. I think we just have to pose the question, just getting out there, are you utilizing your time in the best way? So, Tim, what do you think of that? I mean, I'm sure you get all types of opportunities.
I get calls for hey, can you partner with me in this? Can you do this with me? And even having like Blab come up. I mean, most people say that I live on here. All right. No, I just actually utilize my spare time over the past 14 days to make it look like I live on here.
Right.
All right. I have a strategic reason for being here. All right. And I look at every one of the headlines that are up before I go into a room. And I look at what the keywords are that are being used. Right. All right. I stick to my keywords. I stick to what's going to work for my business. The only time that I go outside of that is if a friend of mine is doing something, I go join it. Or if it's someone I want to meet. Mm-hmm. I was on Michael Hyatt's. First thing I ever did, I got on Michael Hyatt.
Cool.
I wanted to meet Michael Hyatt. I want to get that relationship started because I want him on my radio show eventually. You know what I mean? Most people are not willing to go do that outside. I mean, that's outside what I want to do. Mm-hmm. There's a couple other people out there that I've wanted to meet over the years.
Right.
That rather than drop everything to go, okay, well, if I can just go 2 hours more over here, I can get it. And I don't do that if it doesn't seem like it's going to align with my schedule.
Right.
And the wise thing on that was because I'm here now using this tool to talk about blogging and branding. The other night, Darren from, is it Pro Blogger from over in Australia? Darren Rouse, I can't think of his last name.
REISS? Yeah. He travels the world. He's the blogger that lives from paradise or something, blogging from paradise. Is that who he is?
I think it's Pro Blogger is his site.
Okay. Sorry. All right.
And I've known of him for years. I said, yeah, it'd be nice to meet him. he popped into my blab the other night.
Oh, how cool.
Yeah.
How cool. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, you have to stretch out and reach out to people. Actually, Tim, I couldn't jump on. You were asking me if I was in the room still or whatever, but what a hoot, you and Robert Stern are. So I told him, reached out to him and just said, hey, listen, I like what you guys are doing, you and Tim. I said, I want to join in on one of the blabs. He's like, oh, looking forward to you getting in the hot seat sometime. So, again,
Robert,
I look forward to meeting. Yeah.
Have you seen this?
I have seen this. Is this from that movie there from Tom Hanks? Is that what
I have one. I've had it for years, and I kept going, oh, I got to keep my friend Robert with me everywhere. Everybody needs a friend. I got Robert.
I love that. I started cracking up when I saw that.
Somebody took a picture of it and put it in a GIF and then started. I'm like, oh my God. But Cynthia, you know what I mean? They told me I don't want to get too sidetracked. You got to have props. So last night I got a rock star prop. Oh my God.
Let me see it real quick. All right. Yay. Hey.
Okay. But not every rock star is, you know what I mean? Rock star like LA, Dallas. Okay. Some of us rock stars are from Tennessee. All right. I'm done sidetracking.
Cherie, reel us in. Reel us in, baby.
I'm loving it. We're gonna have some fun. We gotta let go. Hey, it's actually, isn't it like happy hour somewhere? So
Friday.
Oh, wait a minute. It's 5 o'clock. It's definitely happy hour for me. I don't know about you.
Go ahead.
I finished mine. I'm waiting for my wife to get home with the next one.
I know, you sweet thing. You're going to go pick her up pretty soon, aren't you?
6 o'clock she arrives.
So where are you? I'm sorry. Where are you actually?
I'm in Dallas, Texas.
You are in Dallas. So what time is it for you?
It is 4:20 now.
Okay. All right. So we have an hour difference. Hi, Peter. How are you?
Hi. How you doing?
Hi there.
Is that me?
What's that?
Yeah, somebody's got an echo. Who doesn't hear it?
I hear the echo.
You don't hear it, Cynthia?
No, I don't hear it.
It happened.
You're the echo, Cynthia.
Oh, darn.
Really? It happened when Peter came in, though.
No, it's not.
I
think it's the new guy.
It happened when Peter came in.
I know.
That is a secret I learned very first few days I was on here. Someone told me that's how you determine the echo. Is the person who doesn't hear it is the person who has the echo. Adjust the volumes and stuff. That's why I put this in, thinking that's what it was me.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, Cynthia. I heard the echo.
So who are you, Peter? Tell us who you are.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
And Tim, I have been seeing you guys. You're everywhere.
I have only been on 56 of them.
Wow.
That's all. Wow. And how many days? Like 11 days or
14.
14? Okay.
Well, I had so go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, and I have I did a full day workshop, and I have spoke at like 12 different events and met 10 clients.
That's awesome. And didn't you get a bunch of people to like write a blog and actually get it published without it being a thought in play? Like, isn't that, you're just so good at that?
My workshop, when we do the beginning of my workshop in the morning, I get them set up on WordPress, and then I give them a random topic, and I say, write a subject about this, and then I make them push the post button.
Well, talk about getting that out of your head and getting it done, right?
Yeah. And that's part of the program is because most of them are scared to put something out on the web, and I realized, okay, that secret is now out about you on the web, but nobody reads it anyway. You can go in and delete it. But that practice of hitting that post button, just like you had to hit the practice today of doing this, they don't do it.
So
Peter, tell us about you.
Yes. All right. Well, I'm a advertising new business guy, and I've just recently got into this because I live in Raleigh-Durham, North Carolina, and member of Triangle AMA, American Marketing Association. And Brian Fanzo came down and talked to us. And he talked to us about the Meerkat and Periscope and Blab. And so I did the Periscope for a couple of times and didn't feel it. And then I came to Blab, and I really liked this forum. And I had the opportunity to have lunch with Brian. And he was a real cool guy. And he just says, Peter, just get out there. And so I'm just getting out there. And Tim, I hear you a lot. I don't have a website.
You need to get that
thing, but I'm just out there. So I guess my thing that I have to get done is, how am I going to work this to my advantage?
Okay.
Do you know your personal brand or what you're going to do, Peter?
Right.
Well, that's the whole thing. Is I am working on the personal mission statement, the personal brand, and like I said, I grew up a traditional advertising guy, got into the social and digital aspect, but in the last 3 years, I got sidetracked and started doing business development, which is great.
Sales.
Yeah, but yeah, sales. So, but anyway, I'm
know,
a speaker.
My neighbor's a sanitation engineer. I get it.
So I just have to develop my brand. I want to go out speaking and do kind of some of the things that you're doing, Tim. So
Can I take over and try this, Sherry, with him for a couple minutes?
Oh, please take
Please
over.
do.
I would love it.
Okay.
We're going to sit back and
You're going to observe me
Best.
do work.
Go, Tim.
Peter, I charge people $1,000 for this, but tell me your history. What's your history? What's your personal story?
my
Good, bad, ugly. Your personal story. Start telling it to me.
okay, my personal story. I
It's gonna
started.
take a while. Sure.
No, it
No, it
won't take long.
No,
It
I'm kidding.
won't take long.
I'm kidding.
Okay, but I started in advertising, gray advertising in New York, and then I moved down to Raleigh, Durham, worked one of the top agencies down here called McKinney, and I was the broadcast director, and I did all the media buying for Audi and Royal Caribbean, all the network TV stuff. So I was always in New York doing ABC, CBS, all the celebrity stuff and all that good stuff, but just putting it out there with just buying media guy. And I did that for many years. And then, and then in 2008, I was in transition. So trying to find something. So I went on the client side. I was a director of marketing for a group of Verizon stores. And most recently, the last 3 years, I've been doing business development. So, but my real love is going back to the advertising marketing aspect and helping folks do their
How
advertising.
about your
marketing.
personal life? Tell me something
My
personal
personal
about
life,
you.
The personal life. I'm married, have 2 kids. I do have a little small blog called Soccer Dad because soccerdadhere.com because my son plays college soccer, and he started soccer 4 years old, and now he plays in college. And I have a 15-year-old daughter that sings, so I'm a really family guy. I do a lot of stuff with the kids. And
What's your
that's
biggest
what I do.
failure?
Biggest failure? Probably being one of those unemployed, out of work
Okay.
people for a while.
Why did you end up out of work?
Just lost the position, and I started to get a little older. Nobody was hiring. You know, that whole bottom dropped out.
And you
that
grew up
time.
in New York? Okay. When
Yeah.
did you move? How
Brooklyn.
old were you when you left Brooklyn?
Well, I left Brooklyn to go to college, and then came back to Brooklyn, and then I left New York in '85 and moved to North Carolina, and been here.
Have
ever
you
since.
written any good advertising copy or anything like that?
No, I'm a media
Not
guy. I'm
creative?
not a creative guy. I don't write the stuff. I put it out there for the people
Okay.
to see it in the right places.
And right
I
now,
get the
nobody's
eyeball.
seeing you because you're older. Would you agree with that?
Probably.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I'm working here. My mind's starting to work on this. But your story, this is what I do for a living, Peter. I actually sit with clients and do this, and I go through the personal because if you tell me I grew up here, I left here and went somewhere, and then while I was there, all right, I was doing good, and all of a sudden the economy crashed. And always there's something you can always try to get a personal reason out. And if I could find a personal reason in your story, and that you're working in graphics and or graphics, I'm sorry, what was it again? Media.
No, media.
Working in media, all right, and we can find the reason. You know what I mean? The media is all about the new kid. I'm not the new kid anymore. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a country guy who lives in North Carolina now. I left the new. There's something to that. You know what I mean? The country dad. You know what I mean? I'd rather sit and watch my kids play soccer, all right, than play on Madison Avenue. All right. Because of that, I'm getting older. I got kicked off the block. So I'd have to try to find something along that lines of, you know what I mean, for you to go in and speak and go into that or go back into that field. All right, with you creating a brand or using your story of the fact that, hey, I had it. I was on Madison Avenue, baby. I was doing all that fancy stuff. And something called me to go to North Carolina, and I got to slow down. Now that I've slowed down some, I really got to enjoy my kids and watch their soccer. I started this blog called Soccer Dad. I really enjoyed it because I was unemployed. And let's face it, when you're unemployed and you're my age, who's going to hire you? All right? I got to go out and recreate myself. You know, we got to work that story into it somehow and come up with a catchy thing. I mean, not everybody can be. I mean, Cynthia's got one of the coolest ones, Smart Chick. You know what I mean? You've got to find a unique brand. That's the tough part, to find that unique, catchy thing. But sometime in the process of walking through your story, we find it.
If I can just jump in for a second, Tim, and just, you know, he's absolutely on the mark that, you know, as far as you getting yourself out there, your story is what is going to connect people to you, you know, no longer just going in and being a sales guy. You know what? People want that authenticity. People want the vulnerability. They want to know that, you know, you've been there. This isn't your first rodeo, that, you know, you've been through pain, you've been through stuff, and you can help them out to the other side. Wouldn't you agree with that, Cherie? And anything, I mean, if you're, you know, wanting to get financial success, you know, someone who's always had financial success and has been given money since birth, that's not the person that I really want to deal with. I want to deal with someone who, you know, had some struggles and came out on the other side, has a story to tell, and so that can walk me through, you know what I mean, the steps that they went through. I really feel that, like what Tim is talking about, somehow using something from your background to help others, and which is going to connect with people. Cherie?
I totally agree. I think more and more and more, there's just so much out there and so many options that people got to connect to you, the person, as more so than what your service and what you're selling. I mean, for me, I know that I'm drawn to that first. And I agree. Oftentimes we see so many people who struggle because things come easy for them, or if they've overcome something and it was, you know, for them, it was like, it was easy to do. I could just, you know, and they don't realize that that's their brilliance and their gifts. And that's really what they could do. They feel like they have to struggle and like figure out something difficult or to go out and share. So what you need to do is tap into what you already know how to do. It comes easy and natural for you, but come at it from the perspective of who you are. Like, tell your story and let people connect to you, because then they're going to be drawn to what you have to offer.
Okay. Because my everything I've done to build mine, Peter, it's not because I'm some cool guy. It's not because I have cool hair. I tell my story. My story is, I mean, I had a very successful car wash business. You know what I mean? I struggled on a bunch of them, but I had a very successful one. And at the peak of my success, I couldn't stand my life. I sold it. And for that selling it, having to recreate myself, I ended up homeless. All right, before I actually acted to try to get back out of that. You know what I mean? And that's the story. That when I tell people I was homeless, I lived on somebody's couch, it gets their attention. And then I tell them I recreated myself. And the Starbucks that I go to down the street here, there's a kid who works there who worked with me at Starbucks 10 years ago. And when I come in after having a $15,000 day, it's kind of hard to sit there and look at him knowing that he's making $12, maybe $13 an hour. And he goes, man, you know, Tim, yeah, nice bike, nice new bike. I mean, you bought 3 bikes in 5 years, and, you know, you kind of feel bad. But I'm like, you know, I really want to reach down there and help him. But I had to go through that struggle to get where I'm at, and I use it every day to help other people do it. But I can't force them to take my help.
Yeah, thank you. I was going to say, you can't help someone who's not ready to be helped. You can't do the work for them. You can't make it happen for them. You can be a supportive guide for those who are willing to, who see enough value in themselves to want to actually go for it, go there. And somebody has a point I just wanted to, I think Julia Stokes said that Peter's story is very common, but few actually will share their story. And so she's like, go for it. You can do it. But I would agree, because I don't think we all have to have had we don't have to have already been at the bottom of the barrel in order for our story to be compelling. I think our stories are compelling when we're speaking from our heart and our truth of it, and we're really connecting on a level, because we all have struggles, we all have challenges, and it's that piece of like not letting it take you down, not letting it stop you, but getting back up again and moving forward, getting back up again and recreating ourselves. We've all had to do that in one way or another. And so I love that, Tim asked you all these questions and went there with you and is helping you to go in and just tell, this is who I am. This is why I'm here. And, this is what I can do for you.
Tim, when'd you get to the point where you had that story and you're like, man, I'm just going to tell it. Because it's
I
tough
learned
story.
in 2012. In 2012, I learned how to put my story together in a way that would actually help build my business. Because I can go through my life and tell you stuff that I don't tell when I tell a story. All right. I've been through 2 divorces. All right. My kid grew up without, on the opposite side of the country from me. I have epilepsy. I used to drive 18-wheeler, and I went to work one day driving tractor trailer, and I came home that night after they let me out of the hospital with epilepsy and was told, you're never going to drive a truck again. Don't put that in my story because it doesn't apply to what I teach.
Right.
I've had tons of tragedies, tons of tough things. Most people won't share them. They'll hide them. I had to pull the ones out that were relevant to my story and how I help people in my line of work. And I don't tell a lie. It's just there's certain things I don't have to include in there.
I would agree with that. I mean, and I think, for me, it's the same thing. At one point in time, I was doing really deep healing relationship work for people who were coming out of really just troubling marriages and relationships and wanting to move forward. And my story at the time was I'd been divorced twice. I was a single mom, and I actually needed to get it right for myself because I had a vision of what a healthy relationship could be, and I found that. But I did it because I was willing to go in and look. So my story is really relevant at the time, but it's not relevant now in kind of where I'm working. So, you're not going to hear me come in and introduce myself and tell that as part of my story. But at the time, that was really relevant and really made sense to the people who were coming to work with me. And so I that's such a good point, Tim. Our story isn't everything that we've ever done and been through. It's really what's the piece of us now that's really going to help us connect to those people who really are aligned with what we have to offer, who we know that we can step up and be that person that's going to coach them, guide them, lead them, whatever that is, to get to where they want to go. And
I'll just add a quick, just so you get different perspectives on stories, Peter, is just so you can hear from different perspectives. So my whole business is about getting people laser focused on their mission, getting out of overwhelm, the stress. A lot of people that I work with are just so sick of their lives. They're sick and tired of being sick and tired, and they don't know, sometimes they don't know why because they're so outside of themselves. And so the piece of my story, and Tim, I appreciate so much of what you've shared and what you've gone through. Again, we've all gone through struggles. I've gone through personal struggles and professional, but mine wasn't tragic. It was just overwhelm. Now that I look back at it, is that I worked in the corporate world for 21 years, was in a job that had to work 18 hours a day. I worked in the prison system for a long time. I was in the security and investigations industry. So, you know what? I made good money. I was working my ass off. You know what I mean? So the money was there. But guess what? I wasn't married. I never had, our host got kicked off. Wow. You know what? I was career for 39 years because you know what? I thought career was the thing that I had to do. And there's a backstory to that. But I worked my ass off, and I put a lot of relationships on hold and on the back burner. And when I finally decided, and people kind of knocked me on the shoulder saying, you know what, this isn't all about work. And I moved into my own business. And then I realized, what the hell did I do for 38 years working for somebody else and working 16 hours a day? And I lost people in my life. That's why Tim scopes on, appreciating people every single day, is that when I was in that corporate world and working all the time, you know what? Yeah, there's a lot of people that I didn't get to see and friends I didn't get to touch base with and family I neglected because I was always working. So I teach people how to get out of the overwhelm, start figuring out what they really want to do, their own passion, and not work so damn much, work smarter and harder. So that's my kind of story. That's a piece that I use in my business because I've been there. I've done that. Now I want you to get out of that overwhelm and let's figure out how, to get you where you really want to be. So see how our stories kind of mix in with our businesses?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I hear you.
And I mean, stories about what happens to you along the way goes with. All right. Cynthia and I are working on something. We still have yet to connect out. We're working on something with that video I had because she was the first person who had inspired enough to go, hey, I want to take this and go with it. And something inside me went, okay, I'm willing to put this out, and let's see if the world takes it. It's not really a total business builder for me, but if I work together with a team member, the two of us can build relationships and possibly build our businesses together. And I reached out to her and said, are you interested? She said, yeah. So we're going to work on it. That happened by accident. That wasn't planned. You know what I mean?
Right.
That was just something like a God moment to me saying, put the camera on and talk to it.
Maybe it was planned.
Maybe it wasn't. It wasn't in my plan. I'll tell you that. Because, I can't watch that video. I can't. But Cynthia shared it, and a lot of people have shared it all over the web. And it inspired people. And I came back, and there's a lot of things come back to me going, oh, man, Tim, we feel sorry for you. I didn't make the video for people to feel sorry for me. I made it for the reason that I want tomorrow morning when you go and look at that guy across the counter, you realize that he's in your life for this much time. Your life ain't that much longer. You know what I mean? Admire. And that's where a mission came out that Cynthia and I she's got just as much heart into it as I do. So that's why we're going to join together and make something out of it. We're going to change people's lives. And we're not doing it to make money. We'll probably make money doing it because we're good at it. But we're going to go out and change lives.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that came about from me sitting down one day and something spawned me and I put this thing on and I went and talked to her.
Yeah. But, what Tim is saying, and we're all saying it in different ways, is that when you're trying to get yourself out there and get yourself clear is just, what do you really want to do? What do you really want to help people with? You know what I mean? What is your expertise? What is your gift? You know what I mean? Like, get really clear on that as far as what do you love to do and what is your true gift? At this point in your life, this is what I say to people is that people kind of tinker around and go, I'm not really great at this, but I want to do this. If you're looking to make money and you're looking to be the expert out there, focus in on your strengths. What are you really good at? What were you awesome at in your job? How can you utilize that now for your business? Go do your weaknesses for like a hobby and try to get better. Don't try to use those weaknesses and try to build a business. Utilize what you're awesome at. What do you really love to do? If you love to speak, speak. If you're a great writer, write. You know what I mean? Have your own flair. Do it in your own way. Don't try to copy what someone else is doing. People are going to love you, Peter, for your personality and how you do things. The right people will connect to you. That's how I feel.
I hear.
Hey, Peter,
Okay.
I really,
Yes.
really appreciate that you came in and again, just did it and got out of your head and got something done and came in and asked your questions and you're out there. And I hope that you got some good advice and some help.
Oh no, I really appreciate the three of you, what you did for me right now, because I think what you guys are saying is number one, it's true to the heart, and it's very helpful to me getting perspective from people like you because you've been there, you've done that. I'm just going to keep on following you guys, get more reinforcement, and stay connected, and then go from there.
Stay connected with us, Peter.
Yeah, please stay connected, and we'll follow you, and we'll send you as much support and love as we can to help you get out there.
Well, thank you very much. I'll leave the room so you can help somebody else.
Great.
Peter, have an awesome weekend.
Yeah. You too. Bye-bye.
You gonna bring Jed in?
Yeah? Okay.
Oh, I love Jed.
I haven't met Jed, so this is
Hey
great.
guys.
Oh man,
Hi,
Jed's
Jed.
awesome.
Hello.
All right, this is
Okay.
officially a cool blab now with Jed Rockerman here and Tim.
No, that's not true. I came in because I saw Cynthia and Tim in here, and I wanted to meet Sherry. So I'm glad to be here with you guys.
Well, thanks, Jed. And I don't know you, so I'm glad you jumped in, and I'm glad I get to meet you. So they know you, but can you tell me and the rest of everyone else who doesn't a little bit about who you are?
I'll
He
do what I
rocks.
can,
He
for
rocks.
sure.
Everybody, tell a little bird. Jed,
Oh.
are you in the house with Tim, Gillette, and
that's
Sheree?
that's a great
Yeah,
idea.
I'm
Let me do
showing up.
that
Ooh,
too.
perfect. Okay.
Yeah, so I do something very similar to Cynthia. I am a speaker. I am also a trainer, and I also work with students. I work with college students, and I teach as well. So my subject area is usually revolving somewhere around social media, and I work and advise people in the border of social media and business.
So I don't know if you had a chance to listen in on some of this, Jed, what we're talking about getting out of your head and getting things done and said, do you have any challenges in that area? Do you have some tips?
For me.
You have some great tips that you use?
Oh, so if I only practice what I preach, right? It's a big issue for me because I need to find focus. Blab is a great distraction for me, but it's also a powerful tool as well. So I try to make sure that I'm using it, to benefit me, not to distract me from what I'm here to do. But the biggest tip I could provide, I can't help, and it was like the gentleman before, if you're trying to find what it is that you're doing, like what it is you want to do, that's in my view, that's kind of like a different conversation from getting out and getting what needs to get done, right? Mm-hmm. So there's like two parts to it. So for me, I connect my passions, which some of them are hobbies and some of them are part of my work. I love helping people. I love working with young folks too. And I try and connect those passions with my job, with my income, right? With what pays my bills and supports my family. And the way that I kind of kick myself in the butt to get that work done is I maintain a focus, picturing in my head this connection between what I'm passionate about and what I do to pay the bills. And as long as I can keep my focus on both of those things coming together, it motivates me to turn off the blab, sit down and get my writing done, prepare for my next talk, get my next course ready, and then I also give myself the ability to take a break, right? So this was going to be a break for me, but it is a break for me. I love talking with you guys, so I'm taking a little break here at the end of the day, and then I'm going to head on out.
Cool.
I hope that's helpful for people. I know it's not very tangible, but everybody's got a passion, right? And just concentrate on how doing your job is going to enable that passion, right? Whether it's going to free you up time to go fishing, like that's another passion of mine, or whether your job is part of your passion, which is very great for those fortunate to be there too. Like I love to work with students, and that's part of what I do. So I'm very fortunate there, but it doesn't have to be like, I'm not a believer of you have to have your job that you're super passionate about. It's just connecting in your mind your passion with what pays the bills and keeping those things close in your head to make sure that you've got the motivation to get it done.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That is like so solid. I mean, that is so solid, because I think that a lot of people get the messaging that they have to like drop everything they're doing, like in order to follow a passion. And that what you said is so true. I've helped so many people understand that maybe your passion isn't what your work has to be, but what you need to do is understand what's important to you and what's fueling your passion, and understand you're making a choice. And what I'm hearing you saying so clearly is like, I've made a choice that what's important to me is like providing for my family, having income coming in, and using my work as a vehicle for that, then allows me to live the life I want to live, do the things I want to do, and have the things I enjoy. And I think that's really, really important for people to understand that and really get clear about that for themselves. Because I mean, I've my husband actually worked in corporate for 30 years, and he is a musician. Like at heart, his passion is music. Like there's just no way around it. But he made a choice, a really clear choice, that he was going to work and, you know, provide for a family and do all those things. And then he, you know, and when he met me, I really felt like, well, that kind of, you've done that, you know. But he and two other guys formed a band, got together regularly, got to play music, collaborated amazingly. And for them, they all understood that, okay, we have these jobs and they provide something that we want them to provide. And we get to play music. We get together and fuel a part of ourselves. It's so important. And because they could do that, they were able to get up and go to work every day because they were getting something that they needed. And that passion wasn't their work, but it was other things. So I love that you were able, like, to see somebody come out and actually live that and share that and say that so clearly.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Well, I think we all can do it. I think it's something we're all capable of doing. I mean, we just, just have to remind ourselves that what we're doing at work is enabling our passions outside of work, and if we do that, I think it'll keep us motivated. But it's that focus piece. So the part of it is the focus, maintaining a focus on remembering why you're here, right? That's the hardest part and requires tools. I use tools all the time to help me with that focus, whether it's timing work periods, which I think is a very good tool to help people with problems with focus and inattention. Some people use something called the Pomodoro technique, which is a timed work session. Mm-hmm. And I'm a big fan of that, and just find out for yourself how long a period that you can maintain your focus and use that timer and give yourself a break and then go back and do it again. And over time, you'll find that you can stretch those periods out. Other tools you might use might be software on your computer that keeps you from, going to other websites or what have you, if those are distracting to you. But there's a number of tools you can use.
They have a blab blocker out there.
Unfortunately, they do, but I have not installed that tool.
Great tips. The time blocking thing, totally use is that, you know what, I as you all do, we all love social media. I just have to say, you know what, I'm going to get this done first, and then I'm going to jump on a blab. Priorities come first. Money-making tools, paying the bills. Basically, what I heard from you, Jed, too, was combining your passion with the priorities. Basically, okay, this is the stuff that's coming in. What's going to help pay the bills, and hopefully have some passion, while doing it. But yeah, definitely the time blocking thing is super huge for me. When I have projects that I need to get done, I actually put myself on the timeline. I almost set like a timer. Sometimes I do. I say, you know what? In an hour, I'm going to get this done so I can be really productive and get things done. And then I use Asana, for just to touch on the software. There's all different stuff that you can use, but I like Asana, ASANA, to put projects in, and you can keep notes and who you've contacted and that sort of thing. It's a free program. So I utilize that, and it's it's good for me. So great subject. I think this is awesome. Very cool input, Jen. Great to see you.
Well, thank you. I'm glad I was able to provide some input for you guys.
Jen, are we going to the lab headquarters together someday?
Focus.
I'd love to.
Can you get me in there? I swear to God, I'll be like in heaven.
I should have given you the heads up. Did I give you the heads up? I thought you were out of town that week or something.
Yeah, you know what? I was out of town that week, but someday, man, I would love to go down there. I'd love. Well,
I've got another client meeting coming up out there in I don't know. There's a Lean Startup Conference in San Francisco. I'll probably be at in 3 weeks.
Okay. All right. Hey,
so I'll give you a heads up. Maybe it's in a month or so, but I'll give you a heads up.
That'd be awesome. And to connect with you live.
How close are you to San Francisco, Cynthia?
About 2.5 hours.
2.5 hours?
Yes.
Okay. Jed, you?
I'm about 7 hours by plane.
Okay.
I'm on the East Coast. I'm in North Carolina.
I was thinking you were on the West Coast, Jed. I don't know why.
North Carolina.
So
we're in North Carolina.
Chapel Hill, North Carolina,
Okay.
home of University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill.
I thought you were on the West Coast. I don't know why. I thought
That's
that.
because I probably had a lot of pictures up on social lately from several spots in the West Coast where I've been working.
Okay.
I go out there pretty frequently for work, so
I'm in LA a lot.
So. Yeah, I was in LA a week ago.
I was there 2 weeks ago. I'll be back there in another 2 weeks. So
what do you do in LA so often, Tim?
I speak at a lot of conferences in LA.
Awesome.
LAX, man. It's like I can tell you almost every one of the hotel managers on LAX. I'm there so much.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
I'll have to look into the LA circuit a little bit more, Tim. I haven't been out there much. Maybe we'll collaborate a little bit, see if there's any opportunities for me down there. I've been in Northern California mostly, so we'll talk offline.
Yeah, we'll talk offline because I'll tell you the secret I got to it was I started attending them out there.
Okay.
And it got me in the eyes of the people who put them on. So
okay, that's my biggest problem. I usually only attend conferences where I've been invited to attend for free.
yeah.
So, I don't know if I'm a cheapskate or what. I probably am, but yeah, I'll have to open up and go to some conferences a little bit more.
First one cost me $297 just to go to the conference, plus hotel, flight, all that stuff. I always say it was like that.
Well, that's not bad. I can do that. The conferences I'm usually going to are a couple $1,000s, so that's a lot to kind of
it can add up
down.
It can add up.
I spend more a year in conferences going to them, let alone the ones I speak at. More than I used to make a year. But it's my livelihood.
Yeah.
Relationships.
Yeah, being there matters. Absolutely, for sure.
So.
Very cool. Well, thanks for jumping
All right. Well, I'm going to pop off and
so
go on home, but I appreciate you having me. It was great to meet you.
It was great to meet
good
you.
to see Cynthia and Tim.
Yeah, great.
Good to see you, buddy.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, we're getting close on an hour, so you guys want to bring someone else in, wrap it up?
You know, I can stay for another 5, Cherie. I've got other things I have to, unfortunately, do. I can stand here all day, but
that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I could another 5.
Okay. Well, why don't we just kind of wrap up with some closing thoughts, unless there's anybody that's really chomping to want to come in. But
good subject. I mean, there's all types of stuff we could talk about on this, but hopefully some people got some good tips, and a couple people joined in, which was great. I loved it. Tim, great stuff. I loved how you walked through. You know, I think you gave him some clarity.
Good.
That's really great. Any final thoughts?
I did my good deed. I did my good deed for the day.
You did. I love it. I love it. Hey, Cherie, I really appreciate. I loved being your co-host today. It was awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It was on such short time, but I appreciate it. I was just inspired and wanted to do it. And gosh, who else would I want to do it with but you? So thank you that you could say yes.
All right.
It was a good topic. I think we got got some good value. I think people really did offered some good feedback. It was awesome again to see you do your thing, Tim. And really, I think so. Well, hey, everyone that joined in, we appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for all the comments in the stream. We really loved that. And we'll follow us. We'll follow you.
And everyone.
Let's inspire each other and keep doing what we're doing and do our best.
All right.
Take care.
Thanks, Tim. Thanks, Cherie. Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming in, Tim.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it. All right. Bye.